Hey everyone, welcome back to the CNATT channel. In today's video, we're going to show you how to upgrade your Windows 10 PC to Windows 11 version 24H2 on a device that isn't officially supported. This tutorial works for upgrading Windows 10 version 2004 or later to Windows 11 version 24H2. We'll demonstrate everything on a system that doesn't meet the official requirements for Windows 11. In step 1, we'll download the Windows 11 ISO file directly from Microsoft website. Then, in step 2, we'll walk you through 3 different methods to complete the upgrade, so you can choose the one that works best for you. Let's dive in. Check system requirements. Before upgrading, let's review the minimum system requirements for Windows 11 24H2. We'll use the PC Health Check app to determine which requirements for upgrading to Windows 11 version 24H2 are met on your computer and which are not. Download the PC Health Check app from the official Microsoft website. The link is in the description below. After downloading and installing, open the app and click the Check Now button. The app will tell you if your PC meets the requirements to upgrade to Windows 11 24H2. Here's what your system needs. Processor 1 GHz or faster with at least 2 cores on a 64-bit processor. RAM 4 GB or more. Storage 64 GB or more. TPM Trusted Platform Module TPM version 2 enabled. System firmware UEFI Secure Boot capable. If the app confirms that your computer is eligible, that's great. You can upgrade to Windows 11 easily using the installation assistant or by downloading the ISO file. No workarounds required. We've shown you how to do this in another tutorial linked above and in the description. If the app verifies that your computer is not eligible, don't worry, just continue watching the rest of the tutorial. An unsupported system typically lacks one or more of the required hardware specifications. If your computer is running a 32-bit version of Windows 10, it's important to note that upgrading to Windows 11 is not possible. This is because Windows 11 is exclusively available in 64-bit versions, and a 32-bit operating system is not supported. Now we'll bypass the restrictions to upgrade Windows 10 to Windows 11 version 24H2 on an unsupported system. The only requirement that can't be bypassed is that your computer's CPU must support the POPCNT instruction. We'll cover this in the next section. Before proceeding with the upgrade, it's crucial to back up all your important data. While the upgrade process usually goes smoothly, there's always a small chance something could go wrong. To prevent any potential data loss, be sure to back up your files using OneDrive, Google Drive, an external drive, or another cloud storage service. Alternatively, you can copy your important files to a different drive that isn't the Windows drive, such as D or E, to keep them safe. Don't skip this step. It's better to be safe than sorry. Verify CPU support for POPCNT or population count instruction before upgrading. To upgrade to Windows 11 version 24H2, it's essential to verify that your CPU meets this special requirement. For Intel CPUs, the processor needs to support SSE 4.2, and for AMD CPUs, SSE 4A is required. This is an instruction set that helps enable compatibility with the latest version of Windows 11. If your CPU has this feature, you should be able to upgrade to Windows 11 version 24H2. However, if your CPU doesn't support this instruction, you won't be able to perform the upgrade, and the highest version you'll be able to install is Windows 11 version 23H2. This check is important to avoid upgrade issues and ensure compatibility with the new version. These instructions are commonly included in processors released in the last 10 years, so if your CPU is relatively recent, it's likely compatible with Windows 11 version 24H2. This instruction set became standard around 2008 to 2010, so some processors from before this period may lack support. There are several ways to check if your CPU supports POPCNT. The easiest method we suggest is to ask an artificial intelligence AI tool such as OpenAI's ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, or another AI service. For example, we asked ChatGPT the following question: does my Intel Core i3-3632QM CPU support POPCNT? We've included this example question in the description. Simply replace the CPU model with yours and ask the AI. As you can see, our old laptop CPU supports this capability. Another way to check if your CPU supports POPCNT is by using CPU-Z, a popular and widely recognized third-party tool. Download CPU-Z from the official CPU ID website. The download link can be found in the description. After installation, open CPU-Z. Go to the CPU tab and look for the instructions section. If your computer's CPU is Intel, check if SSE 4.2 is listed among the supported instruction sets. If your computer's CPU is AMD, check if SSE 4A is listed among the supported instruction sets. Now that we've confirmed the computer's CPU supports Windows 11 version 24H2, let's move on to the next step. Step 1. Download Windows 11 ISO file. Open your preferred browser and navigate to the Microsoft Windows 11 download page, link provided in the description. You'll see the current release of Windows 11 displayed at the top of the page. At this point, you have two options. The first is to use the Media Creation tool, a download assistant, to get the Windows 11 ISO file. The second is to download the ISO file directly through your browser. We'll walk you through both methods. Scroll down to the section titled Download Windows 11 Disk Image ISO. In the Select Download drop-down menu, choose Windows 11 Multi-Edition ISO and click Download Now. Before downloading the ISO, it's essential to know your current Windows language. If the language of your system and the ISO don't match, you don't be able to upgrade while keeping your files, apps, and settings. To check your current Windows language, follow these steps. Open Command Prompt as an administrator and enter the following command. Type dism/online/get-intl. The command is included in the description. This will display information about your system's local and language settings. Look for the system local value, which indicates your current Windows language. Make sure the language of the ISO file you select matches this. After checking your language, go back to the download page and select the matching language for the ISO file. Click Confirm and then download the ISO file. Now, we'll download the ISO file using the Media Creation tool to observe the differences. If you opt to use the Media Creation tool to download the ISO file, you'll benefit from a couple of advantages. First, the tool will automatically select the language based on your current Windows settings, sparing you the hassle of manually matching the language for the upgrade. Additionally, the ISO file will be approximately 1 GB smaller compared to downloading it directly. The choice is yours whether to download the ISO file using the Media Creation tool or through your browser. As you can see, the ISO file downloaded using the Media Creation tool has a smaller size due to higher compression. We will keep only one of the two ISO files to continue the tutorial. Step 2. Bypass Windows 11 hardware requirements to upgrade to version 24H2. Once the ISO file is downloaded, it's time to run the setup file and upgrade Windows 10 to Windows 11 version 24H2. If you mount the ISO file and run the Windows 11 setup to upgrade an unsupported system, you'll receive an error stating that this computer doesn't currently meet the Windows 11 system requirements, and the reasons for this warning will also be listed. Now we'll bypass these restrictions using a few tricks. This step consists of 3 methods. It's possible that Microsoft may disable the first and second methods in the future. Consequently, we'll provide instructions for an alternative method that you can use if the first 2 methods become unavailable. Method 1. Bypass Windows 11 hardware requirements using command prompt. If you've confirmed based on the explanation at the beginning of the video that your computer's CPU supports the POPCNT instruction, you can begin upgrading Windows 10 using this method. Right-click on the downloaded ISO file and select Mount Create a virtual drive for installation. Windows Explorer will immediately open the contents of the mounted ISO file. If not, go to this PC, right-click on the created virtual drive and select Open. Open the Sources folder. Click on the address bar, type cmd, and then press the Enter key on your keyboard. After opening the command prompt from the Sources folder, it will launch in that directory. This allows you to easily execute commands or installation files without having to navigate to the folder manually. Type or paste the following command and press the Enter key. setupprep.exe /product server. If prompted, click Yes. The setup preparation tool or setupprep.exe initializes the setup process for Windows 11. The setup window is titled Windows Server Setup, but don't worry. We're using this as a workaround to bypass Windows 11's hardware limitations. Rest assured, this process will still install Windows 11. In Windows Setup, the first step is to decide whether to download updates, drivers, and optional features during installation. Click on the Change How Setup Downloads Updates link. To speed up the installation process, you can select Not Right Now for downloading updates. The choice is yours. You can leave it on. Click Next. Before proceeding, you'll need to agree the Microsoft software license terms. Make sure to read through the terms if you're unfamiliar with them. Click Accept. After a while, Windows will prompt you to choose what to keep during the upgrade. If you want to retain all your files, apps, and settings, choose Keep Personal Files and Apps. This option allows for a smooth transition to Windows 11 version 24H2 without losing any data or configuration. If the Keep Personal Files and Apps option is disabled, it means you downloaded the wrong language for the ISO file. Click the Next button. Please wait while the necessary checks are performed before the upgrade. In this step, the settings you selected will be displayed. You won't be able to use your PC during the installation, so make sure to save and close your files beforehand. Click the Install button. Windows Setup will start preparing the installation, checking your system, and applying necessary updates. Your computer may restart multiple times during the process. Just let the installation run its course until it's complete. Once the installation is done, your computer will boot into Windows 11 version 24H2. You can then explore all the new features and enhancements. Method 2. Bypassing Windows 11 hardware requirements using a registry edit trick. If you've confirmed based on the explanation at the beginning of the video that your computer's CPU supports the POPCNT instruction, you can begin upgrading Windows 10 using this method. In this method, we'll add registry keys to bypass the Windows 11 upgrade requirements. To reduce the risk of errors when entering values manually, we've made this available as a batch script. This script modifies the registry to bypass Windows 11's hardware checks while removing specific compatibility markers and adding keys that allows upgrades on unsupported hardware, including TPM, Secure Boot, RAM, and CPU requirements. Open your preferred web browser and go to the batch script link included in the video description. Copy all batch script commands. Open the Start menu, type cmd, and run it as an administrator. Press Ctrl V on your keyboard or right-click in the CMD window to paste the commands. Then press Enter. Once the message "The operation completed successfully" is displayed, close command prompt. Next, follow the steps to start the installation process. Right-click on the downloaded ISO file and select Mount to create a virtual drive for installation. Windows Explorer will immediately open the contents of the mounted ISO file. If not, go to this PC, right-click on the created virtual drive and select Open. Double-click on setup.exe to start the upgrade process. Windows 11 setup will open. The first step is to decide whether to download updates, drivers, and optional features during the setup. Click on the Change How Setup Downloads Updates link. To speed up the installation process, you can select Not Right Now for downloading updates. The choice is yours. You can leave it on. Click Next. If you have run the batch script correctly, the hardware restrictions for Windows 11 will be bypassed at this stage, allowing you to easily proceed to the next step. Click Accept. Please wait while the necessary checks are performed before the upgrade. At this stage, you may see a warning indicating that your PC doesn't meet the minimum system requirements for Windows 11. This warning typically appears on unsupported systems. By clicking Accept, you acknowledge the risks such as the lack of support and potential compatibility issues. Once you're ready, click Accept to proceed with the upgrade. After a while, Windows will prompt you to choose what to keep during the upgrade. Click on the Change What to Keep link. If you want to retain all your files, apps, and settings, choose Keep Personal Files and Apps. If the Keep Personal Files and Apps option is disabled, it means you downloaded the wrong language for the ISO file. Click the Next button. Click the Install button. Windows Setup will start preparing the installation, checking your system, and applying necessary updates. Your computer may restart multiple times during the process. Just let the installation run its course until it's complete. Once the installation is done, your computer will boot into Windows 11 version 24 H2. Method 3. Bypassing Windows 11 hardware requirements using Rufus. If you've confirmed based on the explanation at the beginning of the video that your computer's CPU supports the POPCNT instruction, you can begin upgrading Windows 10 using this method. In this step of the tutorial, we'll need a USB drive. It's best to use a USB flash drive with at least 8 GB of storage for this process. If you don't have a USB drive available, don't worry, we'll soon be providing a tutorial on how to create a virtual drive and use this method with it. This tutorial will be linked above and in the description, allowing you to easily access it once it becomes available. Now, let's go over how to bypass the Windows 11 24 H2 hardware requirements using Rufus. Go to the Rufus website and download the latest version, 4.6 or newer. The download link can be found in the description. Rufus is a well-known, reliable, open-source tool used to create bootable USB drives for installing operating systems. Please make sure you're using Rufus version 4.6 or later, as these versions include the latest options to bypass hardware limitations. Once downloaded, open Rufus. Insert a USB drive with at least 8 GB of storage and wait for it to be detected. Be aware that this process will erase all data on your USB drive, so ensure you've backed up any important files. In Rufus, select your USB drive under the Device drop-down. Under Boot selection, click Select and navigate to your downloaded Windows 11 ISO file. Choose the ISO file and open it. Under Partition Scheme, choose GPT if your computer uses UEFI or MBR if it uses Legacy BIOS. We'll be performing an in-place upgrade. For an in-place upgrade of Windows 10, there's no need to worry about the partition scheme, GPT or MBR when creating a bootable USB, as you'll be running the setup directly from within Windows. However, if you plan to do a clean installation in the future using a USB drive, be sure to select the correct partition scheme based on your system's BIOS mode, UEFI or legacy BIOS. Selecting the wrong option could prevent your system from booting from the USB, leading to issues with a new installation. To determine whether your system uses UEFI or legacy BIOS, right-click the Start button and select Run, or press WinR to open the Run dialog box. Then type msinfo32 and press Enter. This opens the System Information window. In the System Summary, look for the BIOS mode entry. If it shows UEFI, your system uses UEFI. If it shows Legacy, your system uses Legacy BIOS. Once you know your system's BIOS mode, you'll be ready to select the correct partition scheme for creating a bootable USB. Choose GPT if your computer uses UEFI. Choose MBR if it uses legacy BIOS. In Rufus, click the Start button. The Windows User Experience dialog will open. In this dialog, there are several options to customize the Windows installation experience. The first option, remove requirement for 4GB plus RAM, Secure Boot, and TPM2, is essential if you're upgrading an older system that doesn't meet these hardware requirements. Always enable the first option. The remaining options are more relevant for a fresh installation. We enable the first two options. Click OK to start creating your bootable Windows 11 USB drive. Rufus will display a warning that all data on the USB will be erased. Confirm by clicking OK. Wait for Rufus to complete the process. This may take a few minutes. The speed of creating a bootable USB drive with Rufus depends on several factors, such as the write speed on the USB drive, the size of the ISO file, and the overall performance of your system. Once the USB is created, you can easily bypass hardware restrictions to upgrade Windows 10 to Windows 11. Close Rufus, then go to This PC. Right-click on the USB drive, select Open, and double-click on Setup.exe to start the upgrade process. Windows 11 Setup will open. The first step is to decide whether to download updates, drivers, and optional features during the setup. Click on the Change How Setup Downloads Updates link. To speed up the installation process, you can select Not Right Now for downloading updates. The choice is yours. You can leave it on. Click Next. At this stage, the hardware restrictions for Windows 11 will be bypassed, allowing you to proceed to the next step easily. Click Accept. Please wait while the necessary checks are performed before the upgrade. At this stage, you may see a warning indicating that your PC doesn't meet the minimum system requirements for Windows 11. This warning typically appears on unsupported systems. By clicking Accept, you acknowledge the risks such as the lack of support and potential compatibility issues. Once you're ready, click Accept to proceed with the upgrade. After a while, Windows will prompt you to choose what to keep during the upgrade. Click on the Change What to Keep link. If you want to retain all your files, apps, and settings, choose Keep Personal Files and Apps. If the Keep Personal Files and Apps option is disabled, it means you downloaded the wrong language for the ISO file. Click the Next button. Click the Install button. Windows Setup will start preparing the installation, checking your system, and applying necessary updates. Your computer may restart multiple times during the process. Just let the installation run its course until it's complete. Once the installation is done, your computer will boot into Windows 11 version 24 H2. Note, if this window appears after running the setup and the first restart, it means the computer has booted from the USB drive. In this case, press and hold the physical power button for a few seconds to turn off the computer. Then, remove the USB drive and turn the computer back on to ensure the upgrade process continues seamlessly. Tips: after successfully upgrading to Windows 11 version 24 H2, keep in mind that you have a 10-day window to roll back to your previous version of Windows if you encounter any issues or prefer the previous setup. To return to your previous version of Windows, open Settings, go to System, Recovery. Under Recovery options, you should see the Go Back option, which will allow you to revert to your previous version of Windows. If you want to revert, follow the on-screen instructions to complete the process. After the 10-day period, this option will no longer be available and your system will permanently keep the new version. For example, we have rolled back Windows 11 version 24H2 to Windows 10 version 22H2, freeing up space by deleting the old version of Windows. If you're happy with the upgrade and don't plan to revert, you can reclaim space on your hard drive or SSD by deleting the previous Windows installation files, which can take up several gigabytes of storage. Here's how to do it. Open Settings, go to System, Storage, click on Temporary Files. Wait a few moments while the temporary files are being scanned. Check the box for previous Windows installations. Click Remove Files. This will delete the old Windows version, freeing up storage space that was previously reserved in case you wanted to roll back. In the other video linked above and in the description, we have discussed this issue in detail. And there you have it, our guide to upgrading Windows 10 to Windows 11 version 24H2 on unsupported hardware. We hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions or run into issues, drop a comment below and we'll do our best to help you out. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more tech tutorials and stay tuned for our upcoming content. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.